you in the booth tonight. Jack, how are you feeling for this season?
We're feeling very good. We've got a great mix of cars, great mix of drivers, and we've got some established RaceRoom names we're going to see, such as Gregor Hojcek, Mackenberg brothers, Pavel Mukon, and there's going to be others in this field who are going to look to make names of themselves. So looking forward to a really good fun season ahead.
Absolutely, and for those who are joining in, I have put a link to the Simgov Discord in the YouTube chat there as well, so you do fancy joining, want to know more information about the series, ask some questions along the way, feel free to do so, and there is ways you can join in to race this season as well, which I'll explain a bit later on. Now we are in qualifying at the moment, which for this race is a 15-minute session. That's the length of Spa. It will be 10 minutes throughout the season, and we have got two 20-minute races here for you this evening, using, as I say, the Super Touring cars that have recently been released on RaceRoom. We've got the Audi A4, the wonderful four-wheel drive car that was so dominant in Europe in the mid-90s. We've got the Volvo S40 on show here this evening, the Honda Accord and the Volvo 850. Unfortunately, no one did decide to go for the BMW, but that was another car that was available for these guys as well. And I must say, the community made by Tony Gonzalez, who's also looking after our cameras this evening, has done a fine job of assembling this grid of drivers together, bringing people on board, bringing myself and Jack on board in the broadcast as well. And I think as the season goes on, I've been talking to a lot of the drivers who are competing at the moment. I think this is a very, very fine field of not only drivers but people as well, you know, on the human side of things. But 11.5 minutes here to go. People on their first laps, and we're currently watching the Belgian driver Carl Dubois, very, very experienced across the multitude of different sims in the past, and someone, I believe, Jack, that you've had experience of working with in the past.
Yes, as a teammate and as a rival. In a good way, not as in like I hate the guy. Now, Carl is a lovely guy, and I raced him out 12 years ago, and he was a very, very tough competitor then, racing at the front with me, so I'm hoping to see him racing at the sharp end of this grid as well.
Fingers crossed. I'm just looking at the chat here as well. There's quite a few fans here for Melvin Brandt as well, and apologies for a bit of lag that you may be seeing as well. This is the first event that Tony is doing fully, and he's doing it on his machine. I think as the season goes on, we will get that a little bit more refined for you guys, but apologies if you're struggling a little bit at the moment, but please do keep with us. I'll say I'll try and talk you best through the action, or myself and Jack actually, for as much as we can. If you have a look through some of the other drivers as well, if we can, we've got a great array of talent on the grid who's raced in multiple levels of esports competitions as well. You can pick up like Pavel Mukon, Gregor Hojcek as well in there as well. You got drivers like Fraser Rostenson there, it's not too shabby either. Pascal Jean-Petra, Shua Uzer as well. Brilliant names. Anton Tomega in there, and the Mackenberg twins. It's been superb to get these drivers aligned on the grid as the first lap times now coming in. Speaking of the devil, there's Marvin Mackenberg there, top of the timesheets for a very respectable 2 minutes 30.290. There he is in the Volvo. Here's Bojan Kuribaya in P4, and you can see there straight away Mackenberg, McConin, John Petra, Kuribala, Sven Mackenberg, Tomega, Neil, Oyster, Rostenson, Choker there. But the two Hondas, we've actually got the most power in these cars, Jack, 310 horsepower. They've got the edge on the rest of these cars in terms of horsepower. They are 1-2 at the moment with a lorry load of Volvos right behind them.
Yeah, and being a power circuit, it's important for the Honda, but it's also you've got to have the handling, which I personally think the Volvo has got that, and on the acceleration side, the Audi's got it. So I'll tell you what, I know Marvin Mackenberg's had a great lap time, put himself P1, but I still could not predict who I think is going to get pole, and not even the car of what car I think is going to get the pole position. But I think also for qualifying, the slipstream makes a big difference. So couldn't see if Marvin had that on his lap. And the lap time he done there is considerably a few tenths faster than what we saw in practice. So that's a very impressive lap by him. He's got 2 tenths advantage over Pavel right now, and I think we saw from practice a 1 second gap from first to 13th, which is very impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, we're expecting times just by practice to be super, super close. I think the sort of top 10, 12 guys was within a second of each other in practice. We're seeing just great to see some classic liveries, including this one, the Rothmans Audi, driven by one of the favourites for this evening's event, Gregor Wojciech, who in a practice event he won both races, which includes, I should add, in the second race the top 8 get reversed from the first race as well. And one thing we did notice, Jack, as well, the Audi being a heavier car, it is 65 kilos heavier than the rest of its competitors, but the four-wheel drive system really just launched this thing off the line.
100%, and it's going to be interesting to see from the start, because I get the feeling Gregor is going to be at the sharp end, but I don't think he's going to get the pole, but he's going to be very close. So if he's around 3rd or 4th on the grid, keep an eye on him at the start, because I wouldn't be shocked if he is leading into turn 1, because yeah, the Audi, like with all these cars, they've all got their pros and cons, and the pro for the Audi is absolutely the start. As he goes into 3rd place as well. Very good lap.
A very good benchmark to go for. One thing I did notice as well, I drove this car for about 20 laps in various different machines, but in qualifying, very, very easy to run wide and get track extension and lose your lap time straight away, particularly if you're going through Road Rouge or Radion. That's a long trip back to the pits and do another lap and start again. So getting clean laps is probably just as important as getting quick ones in early on. As when I look at another favoured driver in the Chris Nissen Abt Motorsport Audi from 1997, and he goes there into 13th place, cuts 1.7 seconds off the top of the timesheets as we're looking again at to Barton, and yes, another Audi on the grid. Going back to the rules actually of the series, was now on board with Carl. Top 10 get points, 25 points down to 1 point, like we've seen Formula 1. The top 8, as I said earlier, get reversed in race 2, but the top 5 also gets weight penalties, mentioned 25 to 5 kilos as well, so that could really, particularly I think for the Audis, actually really mix things up as they're already carrying the extra weight as well, as we're looking at Choyusha here in P6, only a second off the top of the leaderboard as well. Now to add, Simgov as well, say ran by Tony Gonzalez, quite a stringent rule book, and they are open about giving these sorts of rule books out to other communities out there as well, so that's definitely worth, if you are interested in such things for your legal communities, feel free to check that out as well. And as I'm plugging away, I might as well plug Mr. Keithley here as well, because he's just started to do or offer his owner coaching as well, Jack. I don't know if you want to touch upon that a little bit more. We've got 5 minutes of quality left.
Yep, it's all good. Thank you for that as well, David. Yes, I have my own coaching academy. Now, I have had the pleasure to be currently coaching a couple of people right now. One will be upcoming on ACC and another on iRacing, but I'm also opening it to RaceRoom and to any sim. And of course, you're free to contact me as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but also via the Simgov Discord, where I've got my own Academy Corner, so you can check that out, and it's got a lot of important information regarding pricing and availability and what I'll definitely be teaching everyone, so feel free to check that out.
And it's one of those things you might be struggling at, you just maybe struggling at a particular track or a particular car, or you just want to get better techniques out there as well. Jack can cater for all sorts of inquiries as well, so even if you just, for example, go around Spa and you're just trying to crack the second sector, for example, you're struggling there, Jack can take you through all that, for example, just personalised inquiries, so feel free to contact him or ask questions in the YouTube chat here as well. It's got 4 minutes left, so people will have to go out now for their final attempts here as well, as we're now looking at the Swede Melvin Brandt, who I suspect has got quite a lot of a fan base in the chat. The Swedish guy here in the Audi as well. As we see Preto there just jumping into 15th place. So 25 drivers here this evening on the track. Take part, you see a multitude of all nationalities across Europe and the UK. We still see a Honda 1-2 project, and then 4 Volvos directly behind of Mackenberg, John Petra, Curala and Oyster. All without Santiago and Tamega there rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, it's going to get closer because getting down to the nitty gritty of the session. Got, I think, with the fact as well with RaceRoom in this, where when the clock hits 0, you cannot even complete your lap. So this, for some people, is going to be their last attempt. Some will be able to complete this lap and then do one last lap, such as Melvin Brandt here, who is just starting what will be his last lap. Down 25th place. Someone said in the chat he disconnected, so I'm guessing he did at the start of the session, and this is first lap back into the session. And got 1 second covering 1st to 7th, which is still pretty good, and you got 3 different manufacturers as well in the top 5, which is always good to see the variety there.
Yeah, I just hope as well, for our sake, Jack, that he's not racing Marvin Mackenberg so much, because that could be confusing for us, I must say. Just thinking out loud, but now it's going to be extremely close grid no matter which way you cut it as well. But with 2.5 minutes to go, everyone now has to be on their lap now for order to improve their lap times. One guy out there who's in a different car to everybody else is Poddy Flack there in 21st. He is in the Volvo 850, driven back in 1995. That car was made famous for, particularly in the UK. He's currently 3 seconds off the pace as we're watching David Santiago there of Spain. Just pitting there, he goes up to 9th position, ahead there of Dubois, 1.2 seconds off the pole time. As we switch our cameras down to Anton Tamega, the Dutch guy. I had a really good chat with him before this race, as did many of the guys, and we had a good little battle as well back in Imola, where we did a bit of a test race, and he was very, very quick, but also very clean, which I find the community really prides itself on. Is not only good racing, quick racing, but respectful racing as well, which is really, really good to see. It's just very refreshing to see as well. A lot of mature heads in the game here. As we're now watching Kulibala there in P6. He's going to cross the line now. Is this going to be improvement? Yes, a very subtle improvement, not enough to gain position. Still 7 bit tenths off the pole. Behind him, we got another Volvo cross the line. I think he is now done his lap and not improved. As we're now watching Davide Zanini here, the 40-year-old Italian, in the Audi A4, driven by Mr. Frank Bieler, as well as he goes through there. The chicane going just about finished sector 2. And always get plenty of grip. You can get on the throttle here nice and early in this car, Jack, can't you, with 4-wheel drive? You just, as long as you get the nose in, you're all good to go. But that is qualifying actually finished there. Marvin Mackenberg taking pole position there. He set that very early on and no one could beat him. Ahead of the Russian Pavel Makonin, Gregor Hojak, Sven Mackenberg, Pascal, Jean Petra there as well, rounding off the top 5. Scrolling down the rest of the field there.
That was a very impressive lap for him to get the pole there, and I'm just really looking forward to this, not just for the racing side of things, but also as someone who grew up watching Super Touring Car races, I'm sure you could relate with this with me, David, is that seeing all these different cars and different liveries, it's almost nostalgia, but these cars were so advanced at the time. It's like that saying, what's old is new again. And it's also a fact that some of these cars, especially in the years of 99 and 2000, actually quicker on some tracks than touring cars today on the same tracks. Just shows how advanced they were for the time.
Oh, indeed. You've actually got to see, if you ever get to see a video online, for example, of any of these super touring cars, sort of like behind the scenes almost, like you open the doors, the bonnet, and see actually the work that went into these cars. It's absolutely ridiculous, I must say. As well, like the engine was put right far back, actually almost inside the cockpit of these cars, to get that weight distribution perfect as well. Tons of carbon fibre being built to build these cars up. But it was absolutely incredible at that time. You had budgets of £5 to £10 million as well to run a season, particularly in the UK. as well. Now, Tony is going to put on the screens now a slideshow of all the different cars that's competing in this championship. It should be seen on screen any moment now. You should see all the specifications. There we are. So you get to see there the 95 Audi. There's the 97 Honda as well on screen. You see 310 horsepower there, for example, for the Honda. And you also got the two Volvos there as well, the S40 and the Soul 850 on the grid as well for you. But that's the sort of cars that you can see taking part.
I'll say my personal favourite, the Volvo 850. Not just how it looks, but it sounds as well. Like, a Volvo 5-cylinder engine. It gives me what James May would call the fizz. You know what I mean?
It was stunning to hear the onboard to that car. And actually, in case you're thinking about this, some of you might already know, but expect more of these cars to come out in the future weeks and months. You know, I imagine at least 2 or 3 new manufacturers joining RaceRoom and expand on this collection of wonderful machines in the period. As well, I'd like to see myself personally, like the Alphas, the Peugeots, obviously all the big names on there that came through in that time as well across Britain and Europe. But the more variety, Jack, the better.
Absolutely, and I can't wait to see what comes along, because I've got some little bit of information which I'm not really going to give away, but I do have a feeling as to what cars are going to come. So really looking forward to that.
That'd be good to see. Now, the guys are gridding up. Now, it says on your screen's formation lap. There is no formation lap. It's simply they'll just grid up and go when the lights go out. Now, you'll see there all on the grid already. So you can see a Mackenberg and that Castrol Honda on the pole position with Makoda alongside. The lights are just about to go out any moment. And away they go. And they see, look at the Audi jumping through the middle straight away. They've Hojek there like a rat up a drain pipe. Straight going in towards turn 1 into La Source hairpin, and Hojek's going to lead us. There's contact going into turn 1, and I think he got away with that. But everyone else seems to be getting through the first corner pretty cleanly there. You can see a few Volvos there, Dyson in the background. They're coming down the hill towards Rouge and Radion first time. But Mackenberg has held on to the lead here in the Honda. Hojek right behind McCollins. He's front 3 looking to get away straight away here.
Yep, I predicted if you're in the Audi and you're at the front, you're going to get a good start, and it looks like Rega has got the slipstream right behind Marvin, but Pavel's bump drafting Rega. So as we come down to Lecombe, and Rega's got the inside, out brakes that 4-wheel drive Audi, and there we go, into the lead he goes with Pavel following.
So Mackenberg there, slightly into third position, you might say, so he might have been a slowdown potentially there, unless the Audi just got such a run out of the first corner and down the hill there. But here we go, the Audi leads of Hojek from McConey from Mackenberg. Behind John Petra from Sven Mackenberg. Dubois up to 6th place. That's a cracking start from him. Orff out into 7th. Oyster, Santiago and Tomega there rounding out the top 10. But everyone's there got through pretty cleanly. It's now down the hill. It's very, very long left-hander here, taking in 4th gear.
So Phil strings through all 25 cars, and yeah, as you said, with car to 6, that's a great start. I don't think, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Carl even started in the top 10, so if that is the case, that's an amazing start he got with fellow Audi driver Jonas Orfel in 7th, right behind, and I got to say as well, I'm really happy to see like Pascal Jean Petri up there in 4th, because he has really shown to be good enough to mix up with these guys, and someone who's not really as established as some of those around him at the front of this field, so it's really good to see.
Now Jean Petra, he's not the oldest on the grid. Now, I should have said before, Jack, but I always thought me and you, Jack, were sort of like the elder statesmen of sim racing, right? Do you have a guess how old John Petra is?
I'm going to guess he's in his 30s, with how you put it.
57 years old. He's not quite the oldest on the grid, but he's the second oldest to my knowledge, and he's still racking up there, you know, in 4th position. But give big credit there to Jean Petra there. I won't give away who the oldest on the grid is, at least to my knowledge, but he's on the grid and he's doing pretty respectably well, at least. But yeah, 57-year-old from the Swiss Jean Petra there, and still right up at the sharp end.
It's very pleasant to see. It just shows that you can be good at this no matter what age you are, and so in this age really is just a number. And I will say, as you were speaking there, Pavel was having a good run on Gregor down to the final corner. He didn't go for the inside move, but probably the smart thing to do at this point, because you don't want to be battling too hard when the pack is still pretty close together at this point.
See, Marvin Brantner, the biggest gainer on the opening lap, up 9 positions there, but Dubois and a couple of others, I think Fraser Roston's well up 4 from their grip position now. So we're now looking at Santiago in that Honda record, that Honda horsepower, going down into Lacombe. And he's a bit boxed in next to the Volvo and the Audi right ahead of him. That's Orfeld attacking Oyster there as Ross Johnson and Tamega are battling right behind them, battling for 10th position. They can't decide who's going to be ahead. It looks like Tamega there's got the inside line and trying to follow through there is Stu Neal up there in 12th position, trying to follow through. He's alongside, they're banging doors as they go down the hill into the hairpin. And he's coming out of that corner there, and he's through. It looks like to me, Stu Neal up into 11. No, he's not going to give. He's not going to get that position without trading some paint, and he just stays ahead there of Rossons with Charlie Monk right behind there, looking to pick up any pieces.
Very close race. I spoke to both Fraser Rossons and Charlie Monk before today, and Rosson said if he could get top 10 finishes, he'll be good with that. If Charlie can get a top 15, he'll be happy with that. And so far, one's completed his objective, the other one's just outside of his. But it's touring car racing, it's going to be close. It's Robbins racing in this sort of deal, so you can make up places just through other people hitting each other. Because this is as much of a contact form of motorsport as you'll find in any form of racing. As the top 3 here have really started to pull away, make a gap from Pascal Jean-Petri in 4th. And Pavel probably doing the smart thing of just bump drafting, not wanting to battle too hard at this point, because we've still got 15 minutes left, which is still about, I think, 6 to 7 laps. As Pavel, is he? No, he's not going to dive on the inside. Then again, trying to outbrake a 4-wheel drive piece of machinery is going to be pretty difficult when you're in front-wheel drive.
I say McConan getting nice and close and personal to the back of Hojek's car there. Anymore, you'd have to sense what they do in their spare time, but we won't go into that any moment now. But Mackenberg there lining himself up out of Lassalle's hairpin, going down the hill again. But as I say, they're broken away from the 2 Volvos right behind them, Jean-Petra and Sven Mackenberg there as well. Charlie Monk, by the way, up into 11th now. He's ahead of Stu Neal and Fraser Ronson as he's making his way up through the mid-pack now into 11th position. They go down the Campbell Straight.
I just want to interrupt. We have lost Kubiala. I'm terribly sorry. I've forgotten what his first name is. I've just noticed though he is out of the race, so we'll try to get word on that as to how that happened, because we did not see it on screen. As Pavel goes for the lead and takes the lead, and very clearly, I don't really think they lost time. They just swapped positions.
They did, and Mackenberg here is not. You let these 2 get away with that, without at least showing his nose down the inside as they go into this long right hander there themselves there. And, they get out of there nicely, out of no name, and go down the hill once again there. Let's say there's some gaps forming now in the field. Of course, no pit stops, and this is just a straight up sprint race, so there's no way of gaining time through strategy or anything like that at all. This is just a flat out sprint racing here, but some good battles there up in front as Marvin Mackenberg looking around the outside. Can he get that done? He's got the overlap.
No, surely not.
He is he? Oh, he's still side by side. There's Hojek's holding on round the outside. I think the braking of the Audi is going to hold the position there. But Hojek joined defensively here to hold position, and look at McConan. He's starting to get away a little bit there. He's got that gap of 6/10.
Yeah, very respectful driving. Not like the side-to-side contact we're used to these type of cars, but it was very good driving between these 2. But as you said, Pavel, he is streaking away, and Gregor, yeah, the Audi is not the quickest car in a straight line. It shows there as the Honda takes 2nd place, so Marvin up to 2nd, very good from him, and that is having 4th and 5th though of Pascal and Sven Mackenberg, closing up slightly. So we could see it's been a 5-car battle for the lead or a 4-car battle for 2nd if Pavel keeps driving away.
McConan almost like trying to break the toe down the straight, moving straight to the left-hand side as they go into Rouge here once again. We're nearly halfway through this race also. About 8 or 9 laps these races. in this 20 lap race thing. Again, you see the plus and minuses there on the screen, but it's just great to see such good close racing without anyone sort of like doing any sort of like tactical, shots off the track or dive bombing or anything like that at all, which was probably not what it was like in period, in fairness, for a lot of the time. But no, it is good to see that there's the element of respect between these guys. It's Mackenberg and John Petra there, fighting for 4th position as they go down the Camel Straight. And it looks like that there's the move done. Sven Mackenberg up into 4th position, taking that position away, and he's going to say, right, Pascal, now it's my turn to lead. Let's get to collect back these 3 cars ahead of us. Let's go.
Yep, probably a smart thing as well from Pascal. Didn't look like he didn't fight too hard, so. And Sven looks like right now he might be having a little bit more confidence. So if Pascal does follow, it looks like 2nd and 3rd, they're a bit closer to Pavel than they were about this time last lap. So I'm also looking at the battle for 8th place, which is of course the reverse grid spot. Is it top 8 or top 10? Sorry, David, remind me.
The top 8 get reversed. So Orfeld currently in that position. As well, but John Petra doing a sensible thing. It's a 16-round championship. If you lose points today, you can lose a lot of ground if you don't get a good haul of points in this first round of the series. And with that in mind, it's best to drive sensibly and not do to anything outrageous or risky in these early stages of a long championship. We've got this 16 races. It's every Sunday now for the next 8 weeks. This championship, so the weeks will come thick and fast as these races fly by.
Yeah, and actually, I'm looking at not just 2 battles. I'm looking at 2 battles right now. This battle, which is for 6th, but also the battle behind, where you've got 10th to 17th within 2 seconds of each other, which looks absolutely insane. And to be honest, I think if actually, I'll stop myself right there because Carl, he has got Sean Oyster on the outside, making for the final chicane. Didn't make it work, but yeah, it's still quite a intense battle for what will essentially be for the reverse grid spot. And although you see that battle behind, it's like a bunch of people trapped in an elevator. That's how close they are.
That's it. I wouldn't like to be then trying to get the car park out of this after this race because they might be struggling to form 1.1. So the move down the inside there from the Audi there, and that looked like Fraser Rostons to me making a move on Brandt. Brandt's got the position. It's Tamega, I believe that is either side by side now. So we're focusing on Preto, who's watching brief for this as Rostons lifts off the front a little bit. Round the outside going Preto. He's trying to get the move, but that's at least Tamega's still that position, but Rostons making himself under pressure here. Look at this 3 wide here between these lots. Look at this. They're going to have to sort yourself out, boys, before we break in zone here. Preto's now dropped back. He's down to 17th. It's like lottery balls here, just waiting to be picked out.
I'm just looking at all the gaps, and there's at least 3 or 4 very, very close battles to where, like you say, if they're any closer, you would be questioning what they're doing in their spare time, which we don't judge around here. And I'm looking at the top 3, they're within half a second, and you got these guys very close. And then 6th to 9th within 1.5 seconds. As we see here, the battle for the lead hotting up again, and with 8 minutes to go, I would not be shocked if in typical touring car fashion we see some car-to-car contact here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. As I suspect Gregor, with that four-wheel drive, is going to have the better tyre life up against the front-wheel drive cars. But we'll see when we come down to it.
I say it's very, very easy to get that Audi not out of shape, but sort of take a little bit of too much speed into the corner and then wash out wide as well, because the extra weight they're carrying is 65 kilos heavier than the 2 cars ahead of him. So he can use it as a battering ram, I suppose, if he really wants to, but I don't think that's going to get him very far as the stewards are concerned. But the Honda horsepower helping him up the hill here with McCollin and Mackenberg as they go through into the back of the circuit there through Blod-Chimont into the bus stop chicane. And it looks like holding station there as McCollin still comes out here as well. Mackenberg and John Petra not making any progress either. The 2 Volvos still a line of stern, but the gap's still very, very much stagnant there. They've not made any progress to the back of these 3 guys.
You can really make a lot of progress if you're just in a train and you're not battling, because the slipstream in the race room is so strong, and in these cars, how aerodynamic they are. If you're in a slipstream and you're not battling, you'll go really, really quick. So, yeah, with Sven not having the luxury of slipstream in front of him, 2-car battle versus 3 cars, that's where they're going to lose out, sadly. But still, though, that puts them in good shape though for the reverse grid, because they'll be starting in front of these. If the order stays as it is, as we're coming to Lecombe, Greg is behind Marvin Mackenberg as he tries to go on the outside of Haramu Conan. Down to Lecombe. Nope, not this lap.
He's not thinking of making any devilish moves as Gregor Hojek at the moment, but line of stern there. By the way, can I say, Melvin Brandt. Magnificent Melvin Brandt. Oh, as I say that, he loses the position, but there he gains it back. He holds on. 11th position from effectively the back of the grid, as you see Owen Lucas is also retired in the Honda, joining Crew Barlow at the back there. But magnificent Melvin up 13 positions. Into 11th position, and you can't rule out Charlie Monk's progress there as well, up 7 into the top 10. He'll be getting a point if he stays there, and he's broken away from these guys as well. We're now focusing on Davide Zanini, the Italian, in the Audi there. You can see Monk there, just a little speck up the road there, but these 5 cars also might be joined by the following cars behind those. Who's that? Deju Shoka in 16th there, and then the big group behind as well. And we're on board now with the Volvo from Anton Temega there in the Unlimited Esports driver, as he's down the inside of Fraser Rosson. So in the Audi, Fraser's dropping back a little bit as the race has gone on, but Temega up into 13th place. Next up for him is Stu Hill right ahead. He rides the curve very, very hard there on the exit there.
Yeah, the thing is, in these cars and these type of races, it's very hard to get a rhythm if all you're doing is following people and you've got people following you. It's very hard to sort of judge by your own way of driving. You've got to then go by someone else's lines, essentially, especially with the slipstream and the dirty air. And speaking of slipstream, Stu Neal gets past Melvin Brandt, who gets a poor run through Blanchimont. Under braking, Stu, I thought he got a little tap there from his fellow Volvo driver, and he did. He runs wide, and he's been disqualified. Stu Neal, did he exceed the incident limit? What's happened there? He's been disqualified.
It looks like he has, yeah. That's a very, very possibility. All the close racing that's happened there, it's either that or they classified he cut the track too much so. But whatever's happened there, Stu Neal has been disqualified. I won't sort of try and guess what exactly happens there, but really unfortunate for him because it was a cracking battle. But look who's gained out of that. Davide Zanini up 3 places, up to 12th position in that Audi. He's picked up a few 40 clovers from that last lap, it looks like.
Yeah, that was good though, as long as you just keep out of the trouble and just try to leave a little bit more room, be a bit respectful, be more respectful than others, you can gain in these cars. It's not too difficult. And David Santiago in 9th. His name was highlighted there in yellow. I was thinking if the game gave him a penalty, but I don't think so. But he's still battling in 9th. 2 seconds off 8th place, Jonas Orfeld, who looks like in good place right now for reverse grid pole. But now, speaking of pole and the first place spot, top 3 are still very close. They have gapped further from 4th place Jean Petra, who looks like Carl Dubois. He's slowly gaining on those behind. So we can have a 3-car battle for 4th place as well. As it looks like, do you think we're going to have one more lap to go from this?
Yes, I think there'll be one more lap, I believe it will be, yeah, because it's about 2.5 minute lap around here, so I'm pretty sure the next lap will be the final lap of this race 1. But it'd be interesting to see what tactics, mentality these guys will have into the final lap. Are they going to go for it, try and bank 25 points, or just stick to what they've got in this final lap and not risk any penalties or the such like in this race? But as I say, these 3 are right at the front, 4.5 seconds clear of the rest of the field. As we're just about to go, this will be the final lap coming up here between these 3.
Yeah, so trying to think, if I'm Gregor, what am I going to be doing? Because the first round, first race. You don't want to do anything to cost yourself a ton of points early on, but you also want to get those all-important points on the board and stamp your authority on the field. And when we show this top 3 we see here, it is going to be the top 3 for the remainder of the season, or the bulk of the season anyway.
These race runs will be super important because it really sort of gives you a good banker for the second race as well. But you don't know. I think the different tracks that come up in the calendar will make a big impression here. But look at the run there.
Very good.
Hojek's got. I think there's going to be some shakers and movements here as looking down the inside is Marvin Mackenberg here, down the inside of the Castrol Honda. They're side by side as they go into the braking zone here for the last time in race 1. It looks like they're nosing ahead. They're rubbing and racing there as they're trying to get through the chicane. Be careful, boys, come on. They'll sort yourselves out, but it looks like Mackenberg's got the position there. Oh, it runs a little bit wide there. Pavel McConan there as he's trying to look for some instant revenge there, but he can't get it done there. And Hojek there taking second position here with a great move round the inside there. Poor
Pavel, it feels like he must feel like he's dropped £20 and picked up £5. He's just lost the lead, and that's not over yet. There's still an all-important drafting area from Stavolo all the way down to the final chicane, and that Audi, it's not, as we said, it's not the quickest of straight line. So will he be able to get a run on Marvin? I'm not sure, but we'll see how close he can get as we come out of this section of the track as we're on the final lap. And just to quickly clarify, Joris Orfeld in 8th place. He's still got over 2 seconds on 9th place, David Santiago, so he looks good for a reverse grid pole right now. And as these 3 all come out of here and head up to Blanchimont, what's your prediction, David?
Well, we'll take it from here, but say it's going to be an interesting bit. I think Mackenberg here has got the pretty much covered there. We say there's not really a slipstream here from Hojek that he's picking up too well. He's got a nice car length or so gap between them, but McConan's looking down the inside. Is he in a brake late? Yes, he is. He's going to get hit. There's contact between the 2 Hondas there, and Gregor Hojek has got the biggest invitation to a race 1 victory here. He's going to get McConan there, completely messing up the braking zone into that last chicane, but Hojek takes race 1 victory here, and Mackenberg and John Petronas 2nd and 3rd, Calderby 4th, Mackenberg 5th, Pavel McConan in 6th position, Oyster and Orfeld 7th and 8th in the end there. But what a dramatic end, and the 2 Hondas, absolutely sensational stuff there. But Hojek probably can't believe his luck.
My word, you know what, I had in my head all kinds of scenarios, and that's not one I actually had imagined, because you don't want to get any penalties, and I would not be shocked if there's a penalty incoming from that. But as we look at the final results, Gregor Hojek with the fast lap of the race as well with a 2:30.6. That's very good in race trim. But yeah, it's the thing is with the front wheel drive, trying to outbrake someone on 20-minute old tyres or 10-lap old tyres on any track, the braking performance is not going to be that great. And maybe if that was the first lap, Pavel could have got away with that, but at this stage of the race, not so easy, and that's just really unfortunate as well for Marvin to be taken out at the end. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if his twin brother Sven is trying to calm his brother down right now as well.
Wow, that is sensational. Now, if you think these guys are have time to calm down, there's only a minute and a half left to warm up to go, so they've got to be very quick in resetting their mindsets, and making sure that they're prepared for this race too. Now, just to repeat, the top 8 will be reversed. That means Jonas Orfeld will be on pole position in his Abt Motorsport Audi on the front row of the grid, and the top 5 from the first race there will be given weight penalties. So Gregor Hojek, for example, will be given an extra 25 kilograms on his car, will affect the whole magnitude of things throughout his race to make his way back up through the field from P8 on the grid. As we're looking at John Petra there again, can't believe his luck, in fairness. Nork and Sven probably either. Both themselves thinking, well, we're just set for 4th and 5th, and they both end up with a podium.
Oh, it's You know what though? What we saw at the end there, that's to me, that's not far from typical touring car racing, especially from the 90s. But still, it's really unfortunate. And put it this way, I would not. So I'm always just lost for words because again, I did not think of what we just saw was to be happening, but can't do anything else but move forward. And I know, as you said, Pascal can't believe his luck. I'm sure from being, was it 5th place to finishing 3rd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we can all be critical, but we've all done it.
Yes.
We've all done that. Haven't we?
Either it's been done to us or we've been on the receiving end of it. So it's not a good feeling either way. But no. Even though I will say with Gregor having 90 kilos on board, well, extra 25 on top of the 65 the Audi's already got, he's still going to get a good start, I reckon. That Audi is still going to rocket off the line. But I'm also keeping my eye on Carl Dubois, who he got 4th place as well from that. Very good result from him.
He did. Also, to clarify, if you're enjoying what you've seen so far, I've put another link in the Discord in case you missed the one I did earlier. That is in fact for the wrong link, I've just realised, so I'm just going to get another link and repeat what I did. So let me just hit the right link there and send it over. But I'm going to invite you guys to the Discord of this championship. So I'm going to hit copy and I'm going to hit send again. And hopefully this time I'll have a bit of better luck in giving you a proper invite. So there it is there in the chat. So if you want to find out more information about how to compete, how to join, you can do. There's a Division B or Division 2, however you want to call it, that's going to be taking part on Fridays. Same time, same place, but on Friday. Which will match the calendar, effectively, the racing calendar for this series. So Friday night, Spa-Francorchamps, I'll be there. Tony Gonzalez ought to be there as well.
The race underway.
Right now, the race is underway, and a cracking start there from Jonas Olfhout. He gets a furlong's gap going into La Source hairpin. Dubois also for a cracking start into 2nd, Oyster in 3rd, Hojek getting a launch off the line into 4th position as well. Audi dominance at the start here. Oyster there in 3rd position in the Volvo. Mackenberg, Conan, Sven Mackenberg and John Petra in 8th position there. Let's get up the hill first time, but Jonas Olfhout probably can't believe his eyes. He's probably thinking, what on earth did they have from?
What a lead he's got. And I was quickly saying, Rodrigo Portugal down to 22nd place. He's got a penalty. I think he jumped the start, so he's got a drive-through penalty. But as we come down to Le Combe, I mean, Jonas, that's an amazing lead he's got. As 2nd place is going to be challenged. No, but 3rd place is going to change. But Gregor is trying to go around the outside of his fellow Audi compatriot, Carl Dubois, but not sure of fellow Audi. That's not going to work. But it's a good effort. Pavel Mukone did not get a good start. I think he got a lot of wheel spin because he dropped from the front row all the way down to 7th, but made up a place through turn 1. As Gregor is still side by side, no, now drops into single file. Though Marvin, no, not going to get a run.
Not going to run. Start off there, apart from Jonas Olfhout, of course, getting a big lead there. Jim Best up into 14th position. There as well, from 21st on the grid. A fantastic start. He's out his Preto there. Looks like it's a little bit of an incident there, at least, at the looks of it. He's now just lost position there to Biders there. 12th in his Volvo. Look at this pack of cars here.
My word.
Breathe in, guys, breathe in, because it's going to be difficult to get through here this chicane. 3 wide further behind. Is they're going to make it? I think they are. Yes, they do.
Come on, 850. Sorry, Dave. Come on, 850. Show the other Volvo some love. It's there. It's in the mix.
That's the body flat there in 18th. You know, his best runs a little bit wide there. Looks like Kulabala there, making his way from the back of the field there, up in 16th. He's slid his way through initially at least up the hill for the first time. Jonas over here, 1.4 second gap to Oyster behind Dubois, Hojek, Mackenberg, McConan rounding out the top 6.
Got some contact at the back. I think Jim Best at the back has spun on the Excel Blanchemont. I think he got a little touch going through the middle of the corner and he went into the wall. Yeah, he's down in last right now. That's a big shame. As an Audi just went to the pit lane. That was Davide Zanini, I think.
Could be for a drive-through.
Oh, I didn't know he got one.
It could be for a drive-through penalty. I know he suffered with one. The test race is off. Mackenberg's gone off. Where did he just pulled over to the right hand side? Has he just retired?
Hang on,
Both of them.
Bergs. Oh my God, have they just received a... Is their internet just gone or something?
think their internet-
Or some kind of technical issue?
You'd have thought so. Both Mackenbergs, who I believe are in the same household, have just both retired from the race. That is an absolute disaster for those guys who had such a great first race there as well. But look what that's done for the guys behind. You got McConan 5th, John Petra 6th, Monk 7th, Melvin Brandt up into 8th, Fiders up into 9th, and Preto there, rounding out the top 10, the Spaniard there. You carrying on his great start there, but what an absolute disaster for not only Best but for the two Germans there, Mackenbergs. Who's going to be absolutely distraught, I'm sure.
It's horrendous luck. I mean, especially for Marvin getting taken out of the first race, and then for this to happen, that's a terrible start to his championship. No doubt he'll. On his ability alone, he'll make up the spots. But yeah, when things like this happen, there's just nothing you can do. But yeah, this really sucks. But we've still got a pretty tasty-looking race going on. As we've got a massive battle way down here. Like, looks like it's for 9th or 8th place leading this train, which I think is Fides in 8th. Oh, someone else has just gone. I think Melvin Brandt just gone?
He has.
Yes, he has
as well.
He's just gone. Yeah.
I've just seen as well, Fraser Ronstadt's also had a game crash as well, who I know he'd be streaming or recording his races as well. So that's 5 guys that's already had a problem with that. Was not a plug for the takeaway, by the way, just saying. But,
I was going to say it's not quite burger and fries, is it?
No, it's not really. No, it's quite tempting. You've said it as well. But
yeah.
5 drivers out of the race already, as we're focused on Obradovic here, as his Volvo colleague is looking alongside of Desko Shoka in 13th place. Moving up a little bit on the grid because Pascal Jean-Petre there, 6th position in this train of cars, all looking to catch up to Olval here, making the most of his great start, still having a really handy lead, actually 1.2 seconds going into Lassalle's hairpin, all gapping Charlie Monk a little bit there. He's kind of idolised there in 7th position there as well in his Audi. But what a eventful start, a lot going on there. We're still at 15 minutes here still to go, but it's looking like the likes of Gregor Hojcik here, Dubois and McConan here could really take advantage here, as Hojcik's looking to make a move going into the Coombe.
Yeah, Greg, Carl Dubois getting a good push from Gregor into the com there, trying to go on the outside of voice, did not quite work though, but it is probably more important for these guys to just be helping each other right now, because Jonas, the gap is still in 1.5, the race isn't all over yet, and most look at Charlie Monk, he's got to feel just like he can breathe the biggest sigh of relief, because he's got no one to battle at all right now, and who knows, he might be picking up the scraps from these in front, because I can see this battle for the lead certainly closing up as we go on, and I know it's from 8th place down to 15th, it's all Volvos. So if there's not a better marketing ploy for Volvo, I can't see a better one.
Especially for the spare parts, I'm sure after this race as well, will be the phone will be ringing and WhatsApp will be absolutely going off non-stop for the past 3-5 working days. But I'll tell you, if I was Charlie Monk now, all I'd be hoping was, come on guys, battle, just keep battling, I'll eventually catch up to you if you keep battling for the rest of the race. As we're now looking at the Sol Volvo 850 in this series, Poddy Flack in 15th position there. He actually changed. Originally he was going to drive the BMW. We had to change of heart. Wasn't quite liking the way that the BMW was feeling. And now that change looks like he's paying off. He's now alongside Obradovic there, going out into sector 3, and he's alongside, and it looks like he's got at least the overlap on the Serbian driver.
And it was going to be close, and he's got him. Yep, very good move from him. And I'll tell you what, with this Super Touring pack as well, I've driven all the cars. You can win races in any of the cars. They're very closely matched. And I will say as well, personally, it's a little bit weird seeing an 850 battle on S40. wouldn't be something you see in real life unless you saw a privateer running 850 battling a manufactured S40, but that is what it is, I guess. As side by side there into turn 1, what it shows is that's Fides on Kubala. And Kubala, he's up 13 positions. It's a great race for him so far because he had he DNF'd in the first race, really making good progress in this one.
In the points as well. Which is great to see. You know, I hope that, do you know what, you might be at the back of the pack, but you've always got an opportunity if the circumstances fall right into your lap. You have got the chance to make up places. As Disco Socha here in P11, the Hungarian driver. He's right in the mix of all these Volvos, isn't he? He's like, come on, let's get the first one sold, you know, after all these races. Like, come on, pick me. But now, up into 10th position, into the points, so he gets ahead of Stu Neal, who's really unfortunate in race number 1, getting disqualified. He's another one who's both made 14 places from the start. Kubala of 15 places from the start. As Hojek has just passed McConan, up in P3. That could be massive for this event's points haul here.
Yep. And Carl is up to 2nd, so... And they've not really lost the touch of Jonas, so...
Now Jonas.
Yep, and well, Carl, he's pulled away a little bit from those behind. Or... I still can't pick who's going to get 2nd place, let alone win this. It's... I'm just looking all through the order. Charlie is still by himself in 6th, which... not a bad place to be right now. Any sort of free space in touring car racing is a luxury, no matter what position you're in.
That's very true. I think the way that these 4 are battling, Jonas has already pulled away about a 2nd or so in the last sort of lap also. If these 4 keep scrapping away, Jonas is just going to be waving his hand at them and say bye, see you at the end, because they're not helping themselves, these 4, that's for sure, because they're side by side, they're defending. Carl's defending there from Gregor, for example. Out of this bus stop chicane as they complete another lap here halfway through the 2nd race now. As look, defending goes Carl, you know, into the source hairpin. Gregor's looking now the other side of him, around the outside. The Volvo of John Petra looking to get around Pavel McConan there. McConan looking up to make from his error in race 1, which really has affected. You think Melvin McAvoy got wrecked out of the end of race 1, has had a disconnect here in race 2. He's going to be feeling as sick as a parrot.
He is. He is not going to be feeling brilliant. And I think we can kind of confirm this is going to be just a battle for 2nd because Jonas has pulled away a little bit more. And Gregor, is he going to make this outside move work? As Carl, I know him, he's a very hard racer and he's trying, but I think he's lost a position. And he's side by side now with Mykonas. We're going to the right-hander here, but that 4-wheel drive will help him on the exits. Close, but he's managed to at least keep 3rd place. But you're right though. When you mentioned about Carl defending the turn 1, just that defending position alone he had to put himself in, that cost him 3/10, not just through the corner, but the exit all the way up to the column. So at this level, if you don't need to, you don't need to defend. Otherwise, you're just going to cost yourself more times those behind and in front.
We've had a couple of more retirements as well. Shores also is retired, and so is Davide Santiago as well. So a few more movers and shakers as Desco Soka up into 7th position. Stu Neal 8th, Preto 9th, Kuribala 10th as well. So they've really made massive look at that, 17 places for Soka and Neal in this race. That's all in the space of 12 minutes, but that's largely because of a lot of retirements as well that's happened. But massive respect to those guys for making that is very, very solid points positions. Don't forget, points go down to the top 10 in these races.
As Bruce Forsyth would say, points make prizes. And I'll say for the sake of Stu Neal, it's really unfortunate with race 1 because he did exceed the instant limit. He did get a disqualification, and it really tells you what could have been if he's able to make up 17 places in this. Sure, some have been through DNFs, but you've also got to have a good head on your shoulders to overtake a good chunk of those people as well, which he's been able to do. So it's very impressive from him and Shoke as well in 7th places. It's still Volvo's from 7th all the way down to 15th, which to my eyes is still quite hilarious. There's Anton Temenkit all. someone done a poor last corner there. I think that was Stu Neal, actually. No, was it? Church. Okay, he's lost a position. So Stu Neal up into 7th and 18 places gained.
I'll tell you what, I think Disco Soka there was, we've just had Christmas, he was just feeling like giving more gifts there because Stu Neal was very, very, not hesitant in picking that one up. He's up into 7th position there, got a nice little gap as well. Now, just to give you clarification on screen, Preto and Temega, they're in the same livery, but they're not teammates. This is not a team's championship. This is very much an individual drivers' championship. So there probably won't be any sort of like team instructions or teamwork going on between these guys. They're very much all in it for themselves as well. It's just that these two happen to be in the same livery, which we tried to separate, but it's not happening. But these full forces here as Lunger down his side. Oh, he's got the overlap there. Contact between the two of them, actually. Temenga to get into the door of Preto there. And is that going to be Kuribala making up position there? He's alongside. No, he's backed out of it. But Temenga now looking down the inside of Soka. Soka goes deep. And there's that Kuribala taking up 2 positions. They're 3 side by side. It's unbelievable. Temenga still behind these two there. But Kuribala making up 2 positions there. Fantastic stuff there from the Serb. Going down the hill again.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I don't think I'd have called that as well as you just did, because I'm watching this not just as a commentator, but was an analyst, but also as a fan, so I can't help but like wince a little bit, just seeing some of the moments there. I was wild, amazed they all able to keep on the track, and a little bit of argy-bargy, but that was still very good racing. And as we come up here to the battle for 3rd place, Gregor Hojek has pulled away his gap these, so he's gained on Jonas as well, 2.1. So as we come to here what I think will be 2 laps to go, the battle for the lead, it's not over yet, because we've seen how quick Gregor can be. As battle for 3rd place here, Carl, can he keep hold of 3rd place? Carl, my old friend. As we come down to the final chicane, good inside position. He should be able to, yeah, he's able to keep the place. That 4-wheel drive, it's such an advantage, especially when the tyres are worn. He'll be able to get some great exits compared to the front-wheel drive cars, where the front tyres might be crying a little bit. And as he's battling, Charlie Monk, he's starting to gain a little bit. He's only 2 seconds behind 5th place Jean Petri.
It is now. It's very much a 2-horse race because Hojek is closing. There's no doubt about that. It's 1.9, a couple laps to go. Long laps, of course, here, 2.5 minutes long. But all felt, as long as he keeps composed, no mistakes made, I think he's got this in the bag. But Hojek is a man on a mission. Yeah, he's like a shark. He's not going to stop giving chase. If there's a victory on line here, he's doing a superb job just to even get away from the guys behind who are clearly battling. Speaking of which, they're still carrying on. McConan now looking on the outside. As we go into Lake Coon, he's got an overlap there. The boys shoving back. Jean Petro's got the box office seat here, and they still maintain position. Dubois like that Audi's just a big breeze block, is that you're not shoving past it. It's just you got to get round me, not through me.
Pascal, so he's just observing the situation. He's not getting too close because he knows if these two were to make considerable contact, he's going to be in the catbird seat to pick up a place or 2. So he's doing a really good job. And what you said about Jonas, you're absolutely right. Jonas, he doesn't need to do anything crazy. He's in a really good position here to get the win. He's still got a comfortable gap. I mean, Gregor's not going to feel the slipstream anyway, unless he's about a second closer than what he is right now. So, also Gregor does have the fastest lap of the race by just 1/10, which quicker than Jonas as Pavel hits the right rear fender of Carl going to Piff Paff, and it's very close battling, and no, he's not going to get inside, but he is going to get the run on Carl as we come down to Blanchimont here.
Yes, I think a bit like race 1, where we was basically in the same sort of scenario, just with a slightly different driver combination here. I can see there's been a very, very similar, maybe not same outcome, but very, very close to this final lap here. But McConey now is not even thinking about the last lap, he's thinking about this one. Looking down the inside, can't quite get the run out of the corner. But McConey now looking to outbrake himself. They've had some bad memories into this chicane from the last race probably as he went through there, but they've survived, and Dubois holds position again. But this is now the final lap of the race. Orphat has a it doesn't look like 1.6 second gap, in fairness. I don't think that's correct, but more of a second gap. There we go. 1 second gap between the front two. They're up 6 positions there, but let's say Stumio up 18 places from that's very back of the grid, in fact. He had the DQ from race 1 up into 7th place. A superb effort from him, but Hojek there still not giving this up.
Yeah, he's like a shark that smells blood, and I'll tell you what, with him knowing the Mackenberg twins are out the race, and that Gregor won the first race, he's going to want to get as many points as he can because he knows that they're going to be a threat in every single round. As Pavel is going to go on the outside, it's a big ask. He turns in. That's a bit naughty. Carl fights back. They're rubbing. They're still rubbing. The second-hand market at this rate is going to go up in price, I think, if these two keep hitting each other. It's down to No Name.
Oh, he's looking down his side.
He's trying it. This is close. Sorry to cut you off there, David. I just can't help it. Just make these noises.
It is very, very tense. And McConan is putting his car into places where it may not be best advised at times, but they've survived. The bar's still holding on to this P2. He's done a very, very strong defence, I think, without not being over the top. McConan again looking for the gap that's going to ever close. Around the outside here, John Petra is I've had enough of waiting here. You two can stop messing about. If you two carry on, I'm going to take their place. That's exactly what he's done. John Petra, the Swiss, up into 4th position on this final lap. Here as well, come out of there. Superb job as to go into this final sector for the last time.
That's brilliant drive, 57-year-old, really showing that whilst he might be up there in age, his racecraft is there because that was some very good driving. He might get a run on Carl down to the final chicane, but as we head to the final chicane, Jonas Orfeld, he's still got a 1 second lead. He's going to comfortably brake here for the final corner. As about P3, it looks very, very close, but we're watching Jonas as he comes through the final chicane. He comes through to take a deserved win.
There we are. Jonas Orfeld there, lights to flag victory, flashes the lights in joy. 25 points there in his bank for the season as Dubois there will finish in 3rd place. John Petra, McConan, Charlie Monk having a look as well, actually at the final corner there, but he's going to take a very, very comfortable 6th position there. Stu Neal will be absolutely delighted there in 7th position ahead of Temenga, Shoka, Kuribala there, round out their points positions in the top 10. Obradovic, Fidesz, Poddy Flack 13th, that's a good drive from him being so far back. Zanini 14th, Hesselhurst 15th, Preto in Portugal rounding out the final positions there. But what a superb event that was for round 1 of the Spa-Francorchamps and round 1 here of the Simgov Super Touring Championship. There you can see there Gregor Hojek getting another fastest lap there. With a 31.0, Orfeld there, the race winner, lights the flag. Never really was challenged, was he? He got that great launch off the line, and when the others battling behind him, Jack, that just give him that comfort zone, that buffer to take the flag.
I'll tell you what, I've been in that position before where you get a great start, you're in the lead, and then all those behind are batting like crazy, and you're feeling so happy on the inside, but you've got to stay composed and not get too comfortable, and that's what Jonas did. He done a very good job. He might have got a great start, but he kept his head, pulled away from those behind, and took a very good win. But Gregor, very impressive from starting 8th, finishing 2nd. Who would you put as a driver of the day, David?
That's a tough one. I think Hojek, he got the biggest points all there, but for individual drives, I think Stunel's got you right up there. That was a fantastic drive from 25th on to get 7th place there in